Hey everyone, this is John from Models by John Michael. If you could go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, like the video, share the videos, all that stuff, it would really help me out. The other thing you can do is follow me on Facebook and Instagram. The name is Models by John Michael as well. So I was looking at my YouTube channel and it's occurred to me that I haven't posted a video in a month now. So I've been pretty busy with work. I've been on spring break vacation with the kids. So things have just been, kind of gotten out of hand. I was redoing my oldest daughter's room, repainting it, and new beds and all that kind of stuff. So hasn't really been quiet around the house. But today I was sitting here working on a model. It's a P40 that I'm doing as a commission build for a customer. But I figured I would go ahead and do a quick video to kind of show you, it's kind of a bench update to show you what I've got in the works right now. So this way you guys can kind of see what I've been up to. So one of the things that I was up to before I got to the commission build was an SBD dotless. It's an SBD1 by Revell. And I got to the point where I had primered the kit. As you can see, closed the seams up, all that kind of stuff. And then I started doing and I was experimenting with a different type of pre-shading. So what I was trying to do is with pencil. So I was just taking a mechanical pencil. I think it's a 0.7 millimeter pencil lead, and just going over all of the grid lines on the model to kind of see how that's going to go. So you can see I've gotten roughly half of the upper fuselage done. So obviously I still have the bottom part to do. But once I get that all done, I was actually doing this one to put it up for sale to see if someone would buy it. So this was the first thing that I did. But then I had a customer contact me that asked me if I would be willing to build them a P40. So I started a P40. So I started with an Airfix Kit. Now, this is the Airfix Kit, and I was kind of doing some pre-shading experimentation with it on here. So as you can see on the wing here, I just took olive drab and I went over the lines, and then I spray painted over again with, olive drab just to kind of see what it would give me. And then on the bottom of the wing here, I was doing a similar effect with the neutral gray. So not a bad effect. This is an Airfix kit. I like the Airfix kits. However, I had an issue with it, and I wasn't going to continue with it to the point where I was going to go ahead and use this as the commission build for the customer. And the reason why is because up here, so this is where your landing gear are. But right here, and you can see it better on this one because I hadn't painted it yet. You see all that putty work that's in there? I couldn't get that to look right or sit right. And I didn't feel comfortable moving forward with this kit knowing that I was going to build for somebody else. If I was just going to build this for me, I would have just said, you know what, just keep going with it. So I decided to abandon the kit. I took the pilot out of here, and I started a new kit for the commission build. So I think what I'll do with this, I think I will go ahead and possibly try doing some kind of a diorama. It'd be my first one that I've ever done. Maybe doing a crashed P40 diorama to see how it turns out. So we'll see. This one is definitely to be continued. So I'm going to shelve it for now, and then I'll get back to it at some point in the future. Now, the one that I started on was a Trumpeter Kit. This is the replacement that I started on for the customer. The Trumpeter Kit, this is the first one I've ever done from Trumpeter. They're nice kits, very easy to do. I would say they call it an intermediate level kit. They call the Airfix P40 a beginner level kit. This one is a little more complicated, but not entirely so. But There are some photo etch parts on here, you know, that come with the kit and things like that. So oddly enough, the two photo etch parts that I put in here so far, you can't even see, but they're in there. But so she's looking pretty good. I got it all painted in silver because I'm going to do some chipping because the customer wants it to be heavily weathered. So I'm going to, and that's why I'm doing some of the pre-shading, because pre-shading, one of the things that it does is it lends itself to a weathered look for your aircraft. So that's why I was experimenting with this one here with the Airfix kit to kind of see what the pre-shading, if I just use the same color paint rather than going with black, because I'm going to be doing the chipping. So I painted it in silver. I got to go over it with the chipping medium, and then I'll do my pre-shading, and then I'm going to do the main colors of the build. So that's why I'm kind of going through this process to see how everything's going to work out. Most of the shading I've ever done has always been post-shading rather than the pre-shading stuff. So usually I just do it with like the Flores weather wash to give me that post-shading effect. But I wanted to try something a little different, because one of the things you'll notice in aircraft as they age and as they get weathered, you start seeing variations in the paint because the paint starts wearing away, things like that. So like this paint gets a little sun bleached here and there. So like you see the darker line here, and then all this is lighter. And that's because of the sun bleaching process. So, and as you know, the paint gets worn and torn and all that kind of stuff. So, and there's the bottom. So it's kind of subtle, but still noticeable. And I am using some of the parts from the Airfix kit on the Trumpeter kit. So, because this one didn't come with the air tank to put, or the fuel tank rather, to put below on the aircraft. So I actually had to go ahead and drill the holes underneath here, because and I did it from the outside. I used the strut pieces that the tank would mount onto from the Airfix kit as a guide. And I just went ahead and used a drill, which actually, I'll go ahead and show you. If you guys don't have one of these things, they call them center punch drills, or, you know, there's a couple of different names for them. But this one is by Zana. Very nice, handy little tools to have for drilling holes in your kits. I used to just do the old twist method with a number 11 blade on my X-Acto knife. It works well enough, but you don't necessarily always get the precise size of hole that you want. So that's why I picked this up. And I actually picked this one up for the SBD Dauntless flaps, because the air flaps have the holes in them for the dive bomb flaps. And, you know, because the Revell kits, they don't have the flap holes drilled out. Let me see if I can find one of them. Here we go. So you see all those holes in there. None of those are drilled out on the kit. So I had to go ahead by hand and drill every single one of them suckers out. Little time consuming, but I think by the time it is all said and done, it's going to look 1,000% better, rather than if I just left the plastic in there and didn't drill them out. I didn't want to use an X-Acto knife because I didn't want to risk breaking the flaps, because those flap pieces are kind of thin. So I figured that a drill was going to be the better way to go. I mean, it's a little spendy. I think this piece here is right around 20 bucks. And then I picked up a drill set kit that came, you know, they're sold separately. I think the bits are, I want to say $10. And it comes with a couple of different chucks, if you will, to hold them. So you got this, I'm gonna get it in the shot here actually, so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see this one here, a couple of different sizes, and then there's another one. So this one actually stores in the top of it. And then you got another one down below here. Same idea. and it's got two sides to it, depending on what you're trying to do, or what size bit you might need. So very nice, very handy, and I would say worth the money that you would spend to pick one of these things up. It'll save you some frustrations in the long run. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for now. So as I get through this P40 build, I will be posting some pictures on Instagram, things like that, to so you guys can kind of see what's going on there with that build. And then once I get the SPD done, I will go ahead and post pictures of that so you guys can see what's going on with that one as well. And then eventually when I get to the other P40 that I have sitting, that I've shelved, and I decide to go ahead and do a diorama for it, I will obviously be letting you guys know what my plan is with that, and kind of show you my progress, especially since it'll be the first one I've ever done. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Happy modeling.